The first night, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. It was just past 3 a.m. when I woke up. Throat dry, mouth sticky. I didn't remember dreaming. I didn't even feel tired, just unsettled, like something had pulled me from sleep. I got out of bed and shuffled into the kitchen, grabbing a glass and filling it from the tap. The window above the sink looked out onto the empty country road that ran past my house. Nothing but blacktop, moonlight, and fields on either side. But tonight there was something else. Someone standing in the middle of the road. I blinked, heart stuttering. He was far away, maybe 50 yards down the road, just standing there, his body silhouetted by the moonlight. I couldn't make out his face, but I could see enough. He was tall, wearing what looked like a coat or long jacket, arms at his sides, unmoving, staring at me. I stepped away from the window and turned off the light. When I looked again, he was gone. I told myself it was nothing. A shadow, my imagination, a trick of the light. But the next night I woke again, 3:02 a.m. I didn't feel thirsty, but I found myself in the kitchen anyway, drawn to the window like something was calling me. He was there again, closer this time, standing maybe 20 yards down the road. I could see more now. His coat was long and tattered, reaching almost to his boots. His head was tilted slightly, like he was studying me. I still couldn't see his face. It was lost in shadow, like the night itself refused to show it. I turned the porch light on. He didn't move. I stared. He stared back. After a full minute, I flipped the light off. When the darkness returned, he was gone. By the third night, I didn't even wait for the thirst. I knew I would wake up at 3. I laid in bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for the clock to turn. And when it did, I got up, heart already pounding. This time, I didn't go to the kitchen. I went to the window in the living room. It had a wider view of the road. He was there, just at the edge of my lawn, maybe 5 yards from the house, still motionless, still staring. I could see the outline of his face now, a long jaw, skin too pale, eyes sunken so deep into the shadow that it looked like his sockets were empty. But he was watching me. I felt it like static crawling across my skin. My porch light flickered on by itself. He didn't even blink. I called the police that night. They came out, searched the property, checked the road. Nothing. Probably some drifter, one of the deputies said. Maybe someone camping out in the woods. I asked if they had any reports of trespassers. They didn't. He promised to have a cruiser patrol the area for a few nights. I nodded, pretending that would make me feel safe. It didn't, because I knew they wouldn't see him, not until it was too late. The fourth night, I woke up and found him on the porch, just standing there, right outside the window, closer than ever. I didn't scream. I couldn't. My body locked up, my chest frozen. His face was pressed just close enough to the glass that I could finally see it. But it wasn't right. His skin was too smooth, almost like wax. His mouth, too wide, stretched across his face in a silent grin that didn't belong to anything human. His eyes were the worst, solid black, no whites, no light, like 2 holes drilled straight into the night. And he was smiling at me, not with joy, but with certainty, like he already knew what came next. I backed away from the window, the porch light blew out. Darkness swallowed him whole. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. At dawn, I packed a bag, I got in my car, I drove into town and checked into the first motel I could find. I didn't even tell anyone. I just left. But it didn't matter. The next night, I woke up in that dusty motel room, 3:01 a.m. I didn't want to look. I knew what I would see. But I did anyway. I pulled open the curtain and stared out at the parking lot. He was there, standing beneath the motel sign next to my car. Closer. Always closer. Tonight is the 5th night. I didn't sleep. I didn't even lie down. I sat in the chair, lights on, every curtain pulled shut. It's 2:58 a.m. now. I can hear him. He's in the hallway, closer than ever. There's no knocking, no footsteps, just that slow, wet breathing from the other side of the door. Waiting, smiling. And I know, when the clock hits 3, he'll be inside, and there won't be any road left between us. I moved into this apartment for the peace. After years of chaos in the city, sirens, shouting neighbors, construction at all hours, I finally found a place on the edge of town. Quiet, cheap, a little rundown, sure, but it had space, privacy, and a view of the woods beyond the small street outside. I signed the lease in less than an hour. At first, it was everything I wanted, until I noticed the window. It started on the third night. I had just shut off the TV and was getting ready for bed when I passed by the kitchen window and glanced out across the street. There was a man standing in the window of the house directly across from mine, second floor. No lights on behind him, just standing there, staring at me. I froze. It wasn't just a casual glance, it was too still, too deliberate. His face was pale in the moonlight, his features blurry behind the glass, but I could see enough. He was smiling, a long, crooked smile. I stepped back from the window, my skin crawling. A dozen rational explanations ran through my head. He was looking at something else. Maybe he wasn't even staring, maybe it was just coincidence. But deep down I knew he was watching me. The next morning I told myself I had overreacted. It was late, I was tired. Maybe it had just been a shadow or some strange trick of the light. That night I avoided the window. I drew the curtains, kept the lights off. I didn't look out, but curiosity is a dangerous thing. At 1:13 a.m. I peeked. He was there again, closer to the glass now, his smile even wider, unmoving, eyes locked on mine. I shut the curtain fast, heart pounding, and stumbled back into the bedroom. I didn't sleep. Over the next week, it became a routine. Every night around 1 a.m. I would look, no matter how hard I tried not to, and every night he was there. Same window, same grin, same dead eyes. I never saw lights on in that house. No movement during the day, no cars, no people. It was like the house didn't exist until he stepped into that window at night, watching, waiting, smiling. I called the police on the 5th night. They came by, knocked on the neighbor's door, flashed their lights through the windows. No answer. One officer came back to speak to me. "Nobody's lived there for years," he said. "Place is condemned, been boarded up for a decade." I stared at him. "But I see someone, every night, in the window." He looked at me like I was losing it. "Maybe you're seeing things, pal. Long days, too much coffee, bad dreams. Happens." They left, but that night the man in the window was still there, and this time he waved. I stopped sleeping, stopped eating. I bought blackout curtains, nailed them to the frame. I unplugged every lamp, sealed every door. But it didn't matter. At 1 a.m. I'd hear it. 3 knocks on the glass. No matter how well I covered the window, no matter what room I slept in, the sound followed me. I began hearing things, footsteps on my stairs, whispers from empty rooms, my name being said in a voice I didn't recognize. I tried to leave. I packed a bag, grabbed my keys, made it to the car. But when I looked in the rearview mirror, he was sitting in the back seat, smiling. I ran back inside and locked every door. The knocking started again, this time not just on the window, on the walls, the floorboards, the inside of my closet door. I screamed, I cried, I begged for it to stop. And just before dawn it did. Silence. The next night I sat in the middle of the room, lights off, heart racing. No knocking, no whispers, no man in the window, just quiet, until I heard it, not outside, behind me. I turned. The closet door was open a crack, and in the mirror beside it I saw him, standing behind me, his reflection, but not mine, grinning, closer than ever. Now, I don't open windows, I don't leave the lights on, I don't answer the door. I don't need to. Because he's inside now, and every night I see his face in every reflection. Mirrors, screens, even the glass of my coffee mug. Always watching, always smiling, and sometimes just before I blink, I swear, my smile starts to match his. It started with something small, a face in the crowd. Someone I almost didn't notice. I was heading to work, same as always, stuck in traffic, half asleep in the back of a cab. As we crawled to the next red light, I glanced out the window and locked eyes with a man standing on the corner. He didn't blink, didn't move, just stood there, watching the cab, watching me. He wore a black jacket, hood pulled low, face pale and expressionless, like he'd never learned how to smile. I looked away, looked back, gone. I didn't think much of it. People come and go in the city all the time. But later that afternoon, I saw him again. I was in the parking garage beneath my office, heading to my car. It was dim down there, the lights buzzing faintly overhead, casting long shadows across the empty concrete. I had just pulled my keys from my pocket when I caught a glimpse of movement behind the row of cars. I turned, and he was there, the same man. Standing completely still, not hiding, just watching, closer than before. I stepped back instinctively, my key fumbled in the lock. "Hey," I called out, trying to sound braver than I felt. "Can I help you?" No answer. Just silence. Then he stepped behind a pillar and didn't come out the other side. When I ran over to check, the space was empty. That night I had a dream. I was lying in bed, but I couldn't move, couldn't speak, just frozen under the weight of something wrong in the room. In the corner in the shadows, he was there, the man, his eyes wide and white, his body not quite human, like something wearing a person's shape but not made for it. He leaned toward me, slowly, and whispered, "You can't leave now." I woke up drenched in sweat, gasping, my heart thudding against my ribs like it wanted out. The next day I tried to forget, told myself it was stress, just a string of coincidences. Maybe I saw someone who looked similar, maybe the dream was just a dream. But then it kept happening. On the train, he was sitting 2 rows ahead. At the grocery store, he stood perfectly still in the freezer aisle, staring through the glass at me. At the gas station, I spotted him in the reflection of the rearview mirror, just for a moment, standing under a flickering street lamp, always closer, always watching. I stopped leaving the house, but it didn't matter, because the dreams got worse. Every night, I woke up at exactly 3:33 a.m. Every night, I saw him closer than the last, in the doorway, beside the bed, above me. One night, I opened my eyes and he was inches from my face, mouth open as if mid-breath, his hands stretched toward my chest. He whispered, "You're waking up inside me now." I screamed, but no sound came out. I tried everything. Therapist, sleep aids, staying up all night. I even moved to a hotel across the city, checked in under a different name, blocked every window with towels, turned all the mirrors to face the wall. It worked for one night, just one. Then I woke up at 3:33 again. This time, the bathroom light was on. I hadn't turned it on. I got up, trembling, and opened the door. The mirror was uncovered. He was standing in it, but not in the room, just in the reflection, smiling, waiting. I smashed the mirror, but his reflection appeared in every shard. I covered them all and ran, but everywhere I go now, he follows. Not just behind me, not beside me, inside me. He's in my voice, in my dreams, in the twitch in my eyelid when I get too tired to fight him off. Sometimes I black out for hours. Sometimes I wake up in places I don't remember going to. The other night I woke up in a cab. The driver looked up into the mirror and said, "You okay, buddy? You were muttering the whole time." I looked at my reflection and for a split second, it wasn't me. It was him. I think he's almost done with me now. Almost finished crawling his way through the cracks in my head. I feel him in my skin, stretching it, smiling with it. And the worst part, no one else sees him. Not yet, but soon. They will. Because once he's inside, he doesn't stay hidden. He spreads. He's behind you right now. Isn't he?